And welcome back to the Trevor Report. How's everyone's weekend? Was everyone's weekend's fine? I hope everyone's weekend was absolutely fantastic. Mine was terrible because I have less to do on the weekends, so I actually don't really enjoy my weekends very well. But anyway, I have been having a fantastic week. There's a lot of good news that has happened from the end of Friday to around the end of Tuesday, as the time I'm recording this, 10 p.m. But anyway, Meta terminating Midtown South office lease amid cost-cutting push. Yes, let big tech die. Let it finally die. Let it be gone and over with. Cast it into the fire. Destroy it. Okay? Shout out to you if you get that Lord of the Rings reference, even though it's a very famous one. Okay, but this is not the only thing, too. Elon Musk is agreeing to buy Twitter, which, you know what? I've been enjoying this Elon Musk Twitter saga. If you see it on the screen, click a link down below in the description. All previous Trevor reports, link down below in the description as well. Though I've been doing this for a few years now, or like a year and a half at least. And some of my earlier ones are, like, I can't watch them. They're very boring, and I'm not going to apologize for that. But anyway, long story short here, Elon Musk is finally going ahead with the deal. He seemed to have seen the reporting that was going around last week, where the Pentagon was using bots in order to exploit emotions regarding the Ukraine conflict in order to bolster America's efforts there, which of course that was happening. The United States practically perfected the concept of psychological warfare. They sense nom easily. But let's continue. Okay, this is all good news and stuff like that, but the thing is, I think we need to put a final nail in the coffin for big tech. This is why I created a subdomain for my main website, theacropolisnews.com, and what sms.theacropolisnews.com is dedicated to is it's dedicated to the downfall of big tech. And how I'm going to achieve this basically is a lot of social media consulting. I can make your thumbnails. I can make your thumbnails for you. I can do video editing for you. I got an entire graphic design team, social media management, social media cloning. Now, this is a process that I invented myself, where I literally clone people's Facebook and Instagram profiles and put it on Minds, Gab, Getter, etc. And then I give people the source files, because there are a lot of people who are stuck with Facebook because they don't have the original source files anymore. And I just think it's about time that no one is imprisoned by this truly barbaric way of engaging in social media. Okay, the sort of big tech oligarchy types. Okay, that needs to come to an end, and it comes to an end by ultimately voting with your wallet and making big tech dead. Let's try to get make big tech dead trending. Okay, not for my business. Okay, for the good of the republic. Okay, right now, these next few weeks, since it's a relatively new business, I've cut down my prices significantly. So I don't, if you're into any of my services or like any of my services, feel free to get a quote. But let's continue with the Trevor Report. Okay. Trump is suing CNN for $475 million in punitive damages. Trump is going on the attack, which, fair enough, should happen. Okay, it's about time that it happened. Okay, but Trump is even asking the Supreme Court to investigate the FBI raid on Mar-a-Lago, which, yeah, probably. We've allocated the responsibility of interpreting the Constitution to the Supreme Court, and so if there are some constitutional questions regarding the Mar-a-Lago raid that I've covered on previous Trevor reports, TLDR, it was a unconstitutional raid on a former president. It was a violation of his Fourth Amendment rights, which big yikes. But anyway, let's move on, or not move on. Let's continue with this article from The Guardian. Donald Trump has sued cable TV network CNN, claiming defamation and seeking punitive damages of $475 million, according to a Florida court filing on Monday. The U.S. cable news station has attempted to smear the former president with, quote, a series of even more scandalous, false, and defamatory labels of racist, Russian lackey, insurrectionist, and ultimately Hitler. Trump's lawyer claimed the lawsuit has been filed in a federal court in Fort Lauderdale. Beyond simply highlighting any negative information about the plaintiff and ignoring all the positive information about him, CNN has sought to use its massive influence, purportedly as a trusted news source, to defame the plaintiff in the minds of its viewers and readers for the purposes of defeating him politically in failing states. We've covered Project Veritas investigative reporting on Jeff Zucker, a very senior-ranking official in CNN at the time, and said a lot of their biases. There are other people caught that work. There are other people that worked in CNN that were caught on hidden camera by Project Veritas's investigative journalists. Okay, there was one guy who said that the Russian investigation, a CNN anchor, I forget his name, but he was caught on video saying that the Trump-Russia collusion thing was, quote, a nothing burger, and which, as a Yankee, I, of course, approve of measuring the quality of something in terms of burgers. But, yeah, so this is pretty cool. We'll see how it goes. At the end of the day, regardless of whether or not the lawsuit succeeds or fails, it's still a great way to punish CNN, because CNN has to go through all of this information. What could be happening is that Trump is trying to, well, for one, clear his name, because people shouldn't, like, come on, like, if you can avoid it, you should punish people for deliberately lying to you, and this is the way that we've found a way as a society to resolve this peacefully. So, there we go. The other thing that could be happening, and this isn't my original idea, but honestly, I watched too many content creators to remember where I got this from. But essentially, the TLDR of this is that Trump is trying to get his allegations of 2020 election fraud, and he's trying to put this under a thing for the lawsuit. Because there is an argument to be made, particularly with the big lie and that Hitler connection that the corporate press was trying to pull, that they did go a step too far. And you know what? Fine, fair, absolutely fair. And I hope something goes with this, because you can't, like, there's no reason that the corporate press can just, or for that matter, even my press institution, Acropolis News Network, there's no reason why anyone in media should just be allowed to say whatever they want. Like, full disclosure, this is a opinion show. This is why I don't call this show, say, hypothetically speaking, reliable sources. I call it the Trevor Report, because this is me, and I am reporting on things that happen and give my opinion on them. And if you're watching, fantastic. Thank you for watching. But it just gets to a point where, you know what? Even if it doesn't go anywhere, if you're not gonna go down swinging, what was the point in even fighting in the first place? Okay, but we got to continue, because, oh boy, Kanye West decided to wear a shirt that says "White Lives Matter," because Kanye West is a trolling genius. And what happened with this is the predictable people who could have predictably gotten upset about this, got upset about this. Now, I don't particularly care whether or not Kanye West does a little bit of trolling and exposing the sort of identitarian hypocrisy that permeates the United States. He does this all the time. He's been doing this for years. Black nationalist Michael Eric Dyson okay, who gave great praise to Robin DiAngelo's White Fragility. If you want to know what I'm talking about, all previous Star Reports link down below in the description. But basically, Michael Eric Dyson and all these black nationalist types and people in the corporate press have been calling Kanye West a white supremacist for years, and the same arguments that the Black Lives Matter types made, the White Lives Matter types, like Kanye West. It's just, I hate this timeline so much, but you get the point, okay? Like, all of the sort of defensive arguments that the Black Lives Matter types make, Kanye West could say with White Lives Matter, okay? Now here's the thing. What Kanye West did, is obvious trolling, and it's designed to get people upset. Okay, kind of like how black nationalists violently pillaging working class communities and causing over dozens of homicides and billions of dollars in civilian property damage, and as well billions of dollars in government property as well as a separate thing, ruining community investment in working class small towns and stuff like that, where they were engaging in these violent pillaging and acts of outright secession. If you want to talk about Trump's big lie, okay. You know, the Chaz Chop thing, the several dozen different autonomous zones in Seattle that just happened one after the other for months. Okay, the House Autonomous Zone, where they took over a house and said this is no longer property of the United States. It's like in Code Geass, where Zero Lelouch, he declares the United States of Japan, and he just sort of does it in a single room, and instead of the country just bombing the building, everyone sort of surrounds. Everyone just sort of surrounds, like, spoilers for a really great show, by the way, but everyone just kind of surrounds the building for several days, and it's like, can you come out now? If you don't come out of the house, we'll punish you, right? But you know, if I have to choose between Kanye West's White Lives Matter campaign, which has yet to cause billions of dollars in property damage, seize land and declare it autonomous, it's yet to do any of those things. Now, don't get me wrong, all identitarianism is stupid. All of it. All Hegelian dialectic materialism, for the most part, when it comes to matters of identity, is just stupid, and people should stop caring. Ideally, Kanye West could stop caring. If everyone just sort of stopped caring about this all at once, that'd be great. Not gonna happen though. Wish it did. But anyway, let's move on, because I literally have nothing to say about this other than everyone involved everyone involved in this is an elitist, is an idiot, like they're all rich or whatever. But you know, at the very least, you know, at least there's justice on one side, I guess. I don't know. I literally don't care. This came up on my timeline. It's like, this is a 5-segment show. What am I going to do? And I found this. But anyway, let's move on. Viral. Florida Democrat says he's voting DeSantis. Gas is here. Like, I saw this video. Let's see. If I play it. Yeah. Let's turn it up.
I don't know about the rest of y'all, but it's here in Arcadia. So y'all know who we vote for. I don't know about the rest of you motherfuckers. I'm voting for DeSantis. And I'm a Democrat.
Yeah.
Y'all can call it what the fuck y'all want.
He says a no word, but I don't care. For some like random dude to just say, "Oh yeah, I'm voting Republican," even though I'm a Democrat, because like fuel, like the economy is doing really, really terrible right now. But a top Democrat a top Democrat said that he would endorse Ron DeSantis, and that he would help campaign for Ron DeSantis, a Democrat. So Ron DeSantis is very popular, and if you've been watching me, and you know, again, all previous reports linked down below in the description, There's a reason why. Ron DeSantis is a very, very, very effective governor. He's good at what he does. He's handled the Hurricane Ian thing pretty well, I think. All things considered. And as for another pop culture reference, as it were, we will be looking at your career with great promise. Now I understand that was Chancellor Palpatine, and that's the bad guy. Can't think of another one. Anyway, so the White House decided to pull a French Revolution and do a declaration for the rights of man, but do so with social media. Now, I've said before that if there was an AI bill of rights, that I would be in favor of it. However, let's do a word search real quick, just so you see what I mean. Equity. There's a lot of whatever. I'm kind of short on time because I spent too much time on that segment that I didn't care about. I should have spent more time on this. Trying to keep this one under 20 minutes. But long story short, the White House created a blueprint or whatever for an AI Bill of Rights. There are some good ideas in here, some not so good ideas in here, but basically it's all a bad thing. Okay, rights are inherent. You can't just declare something. You can't just declare something a human right. Like the French way of doing things, and I mean the French Revolution way of doing things. A sort of late stage Enlightenment way of going about things, of going about governance and politics, of just sort of declaring something right and then going about it, right? A classic example: healthcare is a human right. Well, anything that requires the labor of others, you definitionally speaking can have a right to. And so there are a lot of questions. Don't get me wrong; it's a decent idea, But this is the worst. But again, if you've been watching the Trevor Report for a while, I hope you have, and if not, check out the discography, as it were. But this is the same administration that tried to create a literal Orwellian Ministry of Truth. And I'm not being hyperbolic by saying this either. Like, they literally tried to create that in the modern world. Okay, but this comes after, and this was put out on the same day that Elon Musk said that he was going to do his Twitter deal. Okay, and there's also the question of vague language, and then there's the discriminatory practices. It uses equity instead of equality, though even still, equality is stupid. For algorithmic discrimination protections, if we were using, say, more American Revolution language, constitutional language, such instead of things like equality and discrimination. Instead, if we were to, instead of this dialectic materialist nonsense, if we were to say, I don't know, hypothetically speaking, use words like liberty, freedom to address these kinds of things, if we could, literally all you need to do, and I'm gonna leave it at this, okay? Oh, also obligatory plug of episode 9 of a premium podcast over on the acropolisnews.com if you want to know where I explain a lot of these leftist dog whistles that are in this thing. But essentially, if you want an internet bill of rights, all you got to do is make the Constitution and just apply it to the internet. That's it. And then make it illegal for the government to offset to private companies authority that it doesn't have in the Constitution. Like, let's say, hypothetically speaking, I don't know, the government pays for the fiber optic network to create that makes the internet possible, and then people in that same government demand the political censorship of their rivals. But I don't know, that's just a hypothetical. In the meantime, my name is Trevor Brown. You just watched the Trevor Report. Click the link tree down below in the description. Check out the new business. Let's end big tech. Maybe, I don't know, become a member and watch the premium podcast. It's pretty cool. It's very laid back. It's like a chill The American Grakus podcast is basically a chill podcast that like has some philosophy into it, so you can laugh, love, and learn. That's all I have to say about that. In the meantime, my name is Trevor Brown. Watch more Trevor reports. Catch up with the full series, as it were. See you in the next one.
Long ago, a wonderful place existed. The Athenians called it the Acropolis. Free expression, ethics, art, philosophy. The Acropolis heralded the democracy. But if I told you the Acropolis has returned. Acropolis News. News from the Acropolis.